Here now exclusively tonight on The Story, Rush Limbaugh, host, of course, of The Rush Limbaugh Show. Rush, thank you for being here tonight. Great to see you this evening.
Thank you for having me. This is the 1 hour on Fox I haven't done in a while, so it's great to be here.
It's great to have you back. I want to start with Joe Biden. You've seen him run for president twice before, in 1984 and 1988. What version of Joe Biden do you think we're going to get this time, and how do you think he'll do?
Well, Martha, let me say this. I sit here tonight in my palatial EIB Southern Command studio. I remain stunned and amazed that the Democrat Party and the media still do not understand who Donald Trump is. They don't understand how he won. They don't understand how he's going to win again in 2020. They don't understand the people who voted for him or why. They hold all of that in contempt. Here's the thing. Joe Biden is probably the best chance they've got, and he doesn't have a chance. They're probably, Joe Biden and Crazy Bernie and Mayor Pete. I mean, get three white guys. Two of them are brontosauruses from Jurassic Park. And that isn't going to sit well with the rest of this party, which has gone so far left. I don't think, Biden's putting off this announcement. I don't know how badly he really wants this. And you have to really want this if you're going to have any chance of winning it.
All right, speaking of the other folks who are running, let's listen to Elizabeth Warren talking about relieving 95% of college debt. Watch this.
We are going to roll back student loan debt for about 95% of students who have debt. And part two is to make sure that we never get in this mess again on student loan debt, and that is to make college universally available with free tuition and fees.
So there's a lot of free stuff in a lot of these plans. Medicare for all, Rush, free college tuition, your debt goes away. The president in the latest approval numbers is down around 39%. So is he vulnerable to all of these promises from all of these Democrats?
No, the polls right now don't mean anything, Martha. Does anybody remember the poll 2 years before 2016? They all had Hillary winning in a landslide. There's way too much that's going to happen. Pocahontas is not going to be the nominee. But, these Democrats are all in the process of trying to out-leftist or out-liberal each other, and they're in a contest to who can give away the most. But with Elizabeth Warren forgiving college loans, forgiving that debt, and then promising free college and Medicare for all and a Green New Deal, why is anybody going to need to go to college? Because nobody's going to need a job, because the Democrats are going to be giving everybody a universal basic income. So why does any of this matter? None of this is real. None of this can happen. This is disinformation, and it's really, I think it's an indication of just how little they think of their own voters, that their own voters don't even want to work. They don't even want to achieve. They don't even want to pursue excellence. They just want to have their hands out and vote for whoever who's going to give them the most. What a way to ruin a life. Nobody would raise kids this way. Why in the world does the Democrat Party think? Well, I can answer that, too. Sometimes the best questions I get are those I ask myself. And why do they care? Because they can't win on policy. They can't win on anything of substance. So they have to demonize. They have to criticize. They have to impugn and destroy the credibility of all of their opponents and then promise to give everything away, promise to be Santa Claus. And it's not going to work against Trump. It might work against a Romney, or it might work against a traditional Republican. It won't work against Donald Trump.
Well, let me ask you this then, because it seems that when you go to high schools and college campuses and even in Hollywood and other places, that Democrats have won the argument to a certain extent. There's a feeling in this country among a lot of people that this is the way we should live. So, it really breaks down the country in terms of those who think that we should be given all of these things and the people who are Trump supporters.
Martha, if you would go to the places in this country that are not on the coasts, not in the elite big urban areas, if you would go to the areas that Donald Trump won the election, traditional Democrat, white, working class, and even blue-collar neighborhoods, you're not going to find that kind of attitude. These are the people that Democrats used to rely on. They are the people that Democrats have lost. These are the people that vote for Trump, and they love Trump even more than they did in 2016. the majority of this country is not yet at the place where it wants everything given to them. Of course, young people want things given to them. Kids always do. People that are not yet mature, haven't lived enough. But we're doing a great disservice to our kids by shortchanging their humanity, shortchanging their opportunities to excel, to become something, to become larger than themselves. They're nothing more than pawns that can be bought with votes. And I don't think that there is a majority of our population that up against Donald Trump is a key element here. I don't think there's a majority population that is serious about thinking this is the way the country ought to be run. You know, the student loan forgiveness. What about people who took loans and paid them back? What are we going to do? Give them reparations? Are they going to ask for refunds? I mean, where does all of this stop? It isn't going to happen in the first place. That's it. All of this is disingenuous and dishonest, and it doesn't get anywhere near the heart of the problems that we are having in this country, which I happen to think revolve around the dissipation of our culture, the dissolution of our society, and so forth. And they are the culprits for this, and they need to be stopped. And this kind of stuff is not their route back. And the fact that they're talking about Joe Biden or Crazy Bernie, who is leading everybody at this stage, I think is a testament to how bankrupt they actually are.
All right. I want to play something for you from Hillary Clinton at the Time 100 conference that she was speaking at, where she says, because I know how much you love the Time 100 conference and how much you love Hillary Clinton. So here she is. Here she is talking about why she believes that President Trump should be indicted. Listen to this.
There's enough there that any other person who had engaged in those acts would certainly have been indicted. The whole matter of obstruction was very directly sent to the Congress. I mean, if you read that part of the report, it could not be clearer.
Well, what's going through your mind as you're listening to that, Rush?
I was trying not to listen to that. You know, this is the irony. Hillary Clinton is who tried to rig a presidential election, Martha. Hillary Clinton and her pals in the Obama Department of Justice and the FBI, they are the ones who colluded with the Russians. They are the ones that gave us this entirely, totally bogus Steele dossier. For Hillary Clinton, you know what irony? For Hillary Clinton to be talking about impeaching Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton needs to be investigated, she needs to be indicted, and she needs to be in jail. And many of her co-conspirators in this whole sordid affair, which amounted to nothing more than a silent coup to overturn the election results of 2016, Hillary Clinton demanding it Trump. You talk about sour grapes. This is a woman who's been rejected by the American people twice, rejected by her party in 2008. She had to rig the primaries against Crazy Bernie in 2016 to get the nomination. She is the last person who ought to be listened to about what ought to happen to Donald Trump. She hasn't accomplished anything anywhere near what Donald Trump has accomplished. She is in no position here to sit here and say what she saw in the Mueller report. Well, she can say it. She's an American. But she doesn't have any credibility on any of this as far as I am concerned, and I'm not alone there.
Jared Kushner also spoke at the conference today, and I know you talked about this today. Here he is talking about how much the Russians actually did on Facebook. Yeah, let's play that.
I think the investigations and all of the speculation that's happened for the last 2 years has had a much harsher impact on our democracy than a couple of Facebook ads. I mean, I spent about, I think they said they spent about $160,000. I spent $160,000 on Facebook every 3 hours during the campaign. So, you know, if you look at the magnitude of what they did and what they accomplished, I think the ensuing investigations have been way more harmful.
Very interesting to hear from him today on that and a lot of other things, Rush.
Well, here's the thing. He's right. Martha, everybody, America, please, there was never any evidence of collusion between Trump and Russia. The collusion, as I said, was Hillary, the DNC, and the Russians via Steele. But the Russians, when Mueller announced the indictments of the Russian troll farm, actually it was Rosenstein who went out and announced them, and nobody paid any attention to this, but he said at the end of the announcement, nothing in these indictments suggests a single vote was changed. Nothing suggests the outcome of any election was changed. No American is named in the indictment having to do with it. Martha, there was never any evidence for this. There was never, Mueller never, when he got the file from Comey, it was empty. All they had was the dossier, and we all know that it was made up. It was opposition research. This was not even an investigation of Trump. What it was an attempt to overthrow the 2016 elections. And the Mueller investigation, I believe, was actually many things, including a cover-up and a distraction to keep people from understanding what really happened. Donald Trump accomplished one of the greatest achievements of his life against all odds with no assistance. His own party wasn't even that much behind him. He's done something that few Americans will ever do, and they're trying to take it away from him, and they're trying to sully his reputation simply because they don't like him. This is a sordid situation. I think our country was at great risk during this whole thing, and there needs to be an investigation. I hope the Attorney General's serious, because these people need to be investigated. We need to be told who they are, what they did, even though we already know, and they need to be indicted. The people
as you say, the Attorney General is on it.
Because they came close, Martha, to throwing away the United States Constitution. Unelected people came close to actually pulling off what is a coup. And it should never, ever happen again. The American people, some of them who watch What the Five at What CNN, don't know it. And the New York Times is even trying to back off the dossier now. So